Hi guys, good evening. I'm an end user computing architect for one of the firms here in Bangalore. I design EUC infrastructures. So Intune is one of the technologies that I design these days from past 3 years. Intune has been big, and I've been working on Intune from past 5.5 years. And I've been teaching SCCM for about 7 years, Intune for about 4 years, application packaging for about 7.5 years. So I teach these 3 courses, and I've been I have almost across the globe, almost any country where there is an end user computing technology, I have my student there. So it has been a wonderful journey for me. I'm happy for you to see you guys here. My course is completely designed for end user computing, that is for SCCM admins who are trying to move into Intune, so that you get a good job market. Now anybody who knows a good Intune, they get a very good pay packages these days. Okay. Yes. So how is the course going to be? If this is not going to be the typical course where you go to YouTube and they show you and next, go select here, select there. It's not going to be like that. Okay. My course is going to be on back end. What is that is happening when you simply say, if you go click on devices, okay, if you go to any of the Windows devices or such, okay, what will happen, okay, when you click on some option? Say if I have a client like this, okay, if you click on any of the options like retire, wipe, delete, fresh start, autopilot design, what is happening? What configuration changes? What is the difference between these 2 options? So my course is going to go in that format with the detailed workflows, because whenever you do something in Intune, it will not be directly visible to you. There are a lot of things that will happen in the backend, especially in the co-management part also. Okay, we will be talking in detail in those workflows. You getting the idea, guys? Girish, Shafiq, Shrida. Okay, so
Yes.
because I have gone through all the courses that is available in Udemy and available in YouTube also, nobody talks about this. So for that, what I did was I made sure you have come here to learn troubleshooting. You have come here because Microsoft site itself tells what to do and how to do. But if something goes wrong, it does not say where to go and look. So those are the things that you are going to learn for each and every topic. And I'll be concentrating a lot on 4 important topics, okay, because there are 4 kind of projects that comes for Intune. First and the foremost is autopilot. Next, Windows Update for Business. Okay, then application migration, deployment. Okay, then along with this, we'll be looking into reports. Okay, so these are the 4 important parameters that is happening now in majority of the projects. Okay, so we'll be concentrating a lot on this. Whenever this topic comes, I'll be talking more about. I'll go really in depth. Okay, step-by-step workflows. I'll go and I'll give you those workflows. Okay, so that it will be easier for you to understand. And also along with that, we have co-management. Okay, so I'll also be talking about in detail about all these things. Okay, but what is our lab going to be? That should be a question, right? Kishore, what is you're telling me that you're going to talk about all these things. How is our lab going to be? So lab, we will be having complete Azure AD join, okay, scenarios for lab, because we will not be having an on-premise environment for us to look completely into the hybrid AD join, but we'll be looking at Azure AD join scenarios. But at the same time, I'm going to talk a lot about hybrid AD join, and I will tell you the difference between these two as well. Getting my point, guys? All of you?
Yes.
Get all the chat?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Now, let me give you a small introduction to the Intune console. Okay. See, when it comes to Intune, okay, you should have every user should have something called as Intune license. Now, what is this Intune license? There are many licensing requirements like M365, E3, M365, E5. Okay, so EMS E3, EMS E5. I'll also be telling very detailedly about how much they cost, which is best used. Most of us for small client, which one you can suggest to buy. For bigger client, which one it is there. So on what features will come in each of those. So all of these details I will tell you in a very structured format. Now, once any user who wants to use Intune, so basically if his laptop, if he wants to use Intune feature, he wants to install an application, he must have a Intune license assigned to him, basically an EMS license assigned to him. Once that EMS license is assigned, okay, where do you assign? Basically, you can assign it. Okay, you can go create a user. Okay, say, let me create a new user. So in our case, let me create Girish. So Girish Kumar, first name is Girish, second name is Kumar. Now here I will I can create a new password, auto generate the password, later I'll give that password, so show password. Then I can give him the job title as Indian Administrator, department is UC, company name is LaraOnlineTraining. Manager, I'll put myself as his manager. Okay, now I'll create. So once I have created, okay, his username and password, what I have to do is I have to assign him the license. See here, I have to assign him the license. Since I'm not able to assign it because I have a free licenses of 9, which I've already used for my existing class, which I've already used. That's the reason. Otherwise, normally I should be having an option. But let's see if it is giving us, it's good, right?
Uh,
Yes.
right now,
Now,
are you creating in? I have one doubt.
yes,
Right now, are you creating in AD Azure or Intune Portal?
we are creating it in Intune. But you can also
Okay,
create this in AD. I am focusing everything on Intune, not in Azure AD, because this is an Intune course. Okay.
but how can we migrate? I mean, for example, if we create a user in AD Azure, how can we
Mm-hmm.
migrate into Intune?
So there will be a two-way communication between Intune. You're not going to do anything new. This is a cloud environment. You will be doing in the same tenant. Your Azure and Intune will be in the same tenant. Okay.
Okay,
So you need not do anything specific for migration. Okay,
okay,
you did not do anything specific for migration. It is done in Intune. It will automatically be reflected. I will show you. I'll save it now.
okay.
This is this is where okay, license assignment failed for the member, which because only I don't know if I have, yeah, it's because I'm overusing the licenses. But anyhow, I'm not going to assign a license, but since I've created the user, I'm going to show you. Your question was, will it be available in my Azure? Yes.
Yes,
See
yes,
here,
yes.
M365 Azure. Let me go to my Azure. See, Kirish Kumar is available. You getting my point? So like
Yes, yes.
this, it can be done multiple ways as well. Now your focus should be mostly on how you are going to provide, okay, solutions like application deployment or an autopilot. Most of the time, most of the companies are looking for autopilot configuration because that is one of a very desirable model of Intune. Because on the go, you will be able to build machines in a lockdown environment. Basically, most of the companies comes with the OEM, that is, most of the companies give it the OEM operating system, and the capability of converting those OEM operating systems into a company lockdown environment operating system. So that is the specialty of an autopilot, and we will be seeing in detail how to configure an autopilot, what will happen in the background when you configure an autopilot, how does the communication go through within the autopilot. Now, next question. Normally, what will happen? Okay, now machine comes to Azure. From Azure, how will the machine come to Intune? So we will be seeing all these scenarios, how to configure an MDM solution for your Azure. Now, let me give you a small diagram. Now, I have
Uh,
my
Hello, Kishore. Sorry to interrupt you.
no problem.
Actually, right now we are working in SSM, right? So what are the changes in happening in Intune? Can you please explain first theory, then after you can go through console. That's better because what is the changes are in Intune? Can you please compare in SCCM and Intune because we are going to migrate Intune. So what are the changes in Intune? Why we use Intune? What is the benefits of Intune? You can explain that one. Next after you can go through the lab. That's better for us.
Now, if you look at my slide here, okay, it clearly tells you the differences between the SCCM and Intune. I'm going to also go talk little detail about this. So first and the foremost, okay, the main difference comes, I've seen a lot of difference when it comes to patching side. Okay, when it comes to patching side, what will happen is you cannot by default uninstall patches from your SCCM. You have to create a script and then push that script using package model or a application model. Correct? Right? Uh, who was that asking this question?
Yes, yes. Sometimes we are going, we go through the control panel, we will uninstall, right?
Not only the control panel, if you have to do a mass uninstall, you will have to do
Okay,
it.
for mass uninstall, we need to create script and we will push. I mean,
Yes,
we
the
need to create.
script, WSS script, and you have to deploy. Okay,
Yes.
but whereas the same thing can be done with an uninstall option within your Intune. There is an option to uninstall. Okay, now you need a database in SCCM to store your machine information, whereas for Intune, it is a web-based. You don't need a separate database. Okay, for Intune, for SCCM, you need a, what do you need? You need a separate server to do all the, to store all the information, collect the client data, and all those things. But all of these are not there in your Intune. It's completely web-based. It's all stored in the cloud storage. Okay. Now, what is the, you need at least a very good configuration to install your SCCM console. Okay, at least about 4 or 5 GB RAM. Here, with just a web browser on any, even on tabs, you can start operating your Intune console. Okay, in SCCM, you have some remote control features, but whereas in Intune, you don't have those features. You have the remote control based on TeamViewer. Okay, so there is a third party app for that. Okay, so in holistically, Intune is pretty lightweight. Okay, and one of the best things with Intune is you need not be in line of sight to your Active Directory. You need not connect to VPN. Any browser is enough. Whereas to use your SCCM console, you should be having line of sight to your Active Directory. Correct? Right, guys?
Yes.
They use
Yes,
JPA.
without Active Directory, there is no SCCM.
Yes, yes. Because I'll be talking really, really in depth about all these things when we go to those topics. Okay, so this is the major differences that is there. Okay, from your SCCM to Intune. Now Microsoft is pushing most of the companies to become cloud ready. Okay, and they are slowly depreciating some features within the SCCM and moving them to Intune. Slowly it is happening. Okay, but it's going to take about 7 to 10 years. It's not going to happen now. It's not going to happen, very fast. But pandemic really accelerated the adoption of Intune. A lot of companies have inhibitions about how safe is cloud, how safe is my data, and all those things. See, if you are working for some Chinese project, okay, in to Chinese have their own tenant. It will be a Microsoft tenant, but it will be isolated from the rest of the world. Like this, there are many options. And one more thing is you will be working close with in sync with the Azure team as well. Okay, whenever there is a issue, you will be working in sync with the Azure team as well. Clear? Did I answer your question, Sridhar?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now I'll give you a simple idea of what is this Intune. Okay, so Intune is nothing but a mobile device management solution that is enabled. That I'm telling you, look at this word, that is enabled in your Azure environment. So first and foremost, you have this Azure Active Directory. What happens? Your machine will get enrolled to Azure. So imagine this as your machine, your client, your Windows 10 machine, your Windows 10 machine. Now, what will happen is this machine will get enrolled to your Azure directory. I'm using the word enrolled. So let me name this machine as client client 01. So this is the machine name. It will get client 01. You will be able to see this machine name here. So if I go to my Azure Active Directory, devices, all devices. This is still MDM. Your Intune is not coming to picture. You will be able to see your machine like this, like this. Now, what will happen is after your machine comes here. Okay, for today I enrolled a few machines. For that machine, it is says as no, none, 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 none. Now, after it comes to your Active Directory, okay, there will be a sync that will happen with your Active Directory and your Intune. Now this sync does not happen automatically. You have to configure this sync. Now how will you go and configure this sync? You go to devices, you go to Windows, here you go to Windows enrollment, and if you go to automatic enrollment, here you have to configure this MDM user scope and MN user scope. This is for applications. For devices to come, you have to configure this MDM user scope. So once this is configured, what will happen is now your MDM comes into picture. So I can show you this. Now your MDM. MDM is nothing but it could be your AirWatch, it could be anything. In our case, it is Intune. Okay, now what will happen? There is a two-way sync that will happen between your Azure AD and Intune, and then your end user machines will be managed by your Intune. So now you should ask me, Kishore, I'm not installing any agent. How will it manage? So all your Windows 10 machines comes with Windows Intune agent installed. So need not worry, to just enable those agents, okay, and you will be able to manage them. Now what I have done is, now so once it is all managed, so what will you manage? you'll manage application, you'll manage patches, you'll manage the conditional access policies. There's so many other things that you can manage. So on a simple way, let me show you a simple app deployment. Now, if you
Excuse
see,
excuse me,
yes,
Krishna. You said all Windows devices are managed by Intune, right? So all Windows devices means that all Windows operating system from Windows 7 and everything, or only Windows 10 and
not
above will be
Windows
managed?
7,
No,
not
only
Windows
Windows
7,
10.
only
Windows
Windows
10 and
10.
above. And
Windows 10,
above,
not
all Windows 10 above OS will be
Windows 10
automatically
and Windows
managed
7. Yes, yes.
by Intune.
Windows 7
There's
is
no
more
difference.
existing in any enterprise environment. If they are keeping it, it could be if they are paying some additional money in keeping it. But for that, you can only manage using your on-premise
Mm.
Yes. For
SSD.
Windows 7, we need to use SCCM only.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, that way if you have paid an additional licensing
Mm.
cost to deploy patches and things like that. You should have bought an additional
Uh,
separate support. Yes.
Kishore,
Okay.
if the device is under internet, okay, so can we manage those also? It should be an internet only. That one.
For Intune,
For
all the
Intune,
devices
you can
will be
manage
internet.
anywhere, intranet or internet. You can use anything.
For
Once you
what? For
log in into
Intune?
your credential,
For Intune, you
Okay,
have to
what?
have internet, not intranet.
Oh,
intranet, just you
okay,
need to
okay,
just enough internet enough. No need to do anything.
Internet is
Just
enough.
one
You
once you
need
log
not
in
have
with your
line of sight.
credentials, you will get access.
You need not
okay,
have
okay.
line of sight to your Active Directory for Intune. You need not talk to your AD at all because everything happens using Azure Active Directory. Got it?
Yeah, got it, right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, what we do using Intune, so basically it's the same thing what SCCM does, okay, but over the cloud, okay. We can deploy apps, okay. So one of the simple, I have deployed a lot of apps. This is a lab of my existing class. So we have deployed many apps. So let me give you a small a demo of deployment of Firefox that is happening. So give me a minute. Let me give my control to one of my students who is already there here, who will deploy the app for us. Go ahead, share your screen. Now, so here we are going to deploy an app. There are many methods in which you can deploy an app. So I'm going to show you the easiest method, visualization method. That's the company portal method. Go ahead and start the company portal, and here we're going to install Firefox. Now, when we install Firefox, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you where it is downloading. Okay, I'm going to show you where it is downloading. So see this now. I'm going to click on install. When I
Kishore,
click on install,
hello.
1 second, Sridhar. Let me complete this. Then we can talk. When I click on
I'm
install,
no someone asking question.
yeah, tell me.
Does Intune also
Not
use
me.
software center for application installation?
Now this is the company portal is the software center equivalent.
Okay.
Okay, you can get this from the Microsoft store. Okay, and all of this what I'm showing you is happening from cloud. See, the download is pending. Now, where will it get downloaded? That's a question, right? Sure, where is getting downloaded? Very simple. Okay, you go to let me go to C drive. In a C drive, go to program files x86, Microsoft Intune management extension. See, here it is getting downloaded in the incoming. So this is basically where your app gets downloaded. And from here, what it will do, it will go to the next, it will go to to something called as IME cache. Where is that IME cache? Again, see Windows, IME cache. So it will come here. So once the download starts, okay, it will start coming here. Now you can go to company portal and install multiple apps as well. So all these apps that you see here are recently published apps. Okay, you can come here, you can install a Citrix workspace, anything that you want can be installed. And I'm also going to teach you scripting because for Win32 you need to have a little bit knowledge of scripting as well. So I'm going to teach you that as well. So like this you will be doing, and you can see here I'm showing you available deployments. You can also do required deployments as well. Okay, using your Intune. It need not be that user has to go click on install. You getting my point, guys? All of you?
Yes, Kishore.
This entire application deployment is a 32-step deployment, and I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to give you detailed notes of all these 32 steps. Now, when this is happening, we need to have a log, right? Now, where is those logs? So go to program data. So if you go to your program data, here you can check your Intune management extension logs. Microsoft Intune management extension logs. This is where this is similar to your app enforcement log, app intent eval. Okay, but there you have separate logs for each workflow, but here you have one single log. See, if I open this log, whatever is happening now, all of those details gets captured here. Okay, I don't have a CM trace in this. That's the reason I'm not able to show you. But in the class, we will have a very detailed CM trace, and we can see that. You're getting my point, guys?
Yes.
Okay, these are the logs we'll be working on. Yes, go ahead, tell me.
Okay, so for Intune, does the device need to be available online? Because in SSM, if device is online only, we can check the logs. Is it the same follows for Intune? The device need to be online to check the logs.
Obviously, client side, the machine has to be on. It has to be available for you to check it.
No,
Yes.
but I have heard that even a device is offline, you can check the logs in Intune.
That is using the audit logs, not on these logs. Those are audit logs. Okay, you cannot check it offline. But these are detailed. These are talking about IME logs. Audit logs, you can see which user logged in, what happened, and all those things, but not these logs. Okay, there is so
Kishore,
many different types of logs. Yes.
yeah, in SCCMC, when you are deploying the application, sometime it got failed, okay, due to the cause might be there is issue with the MP or the system client will be don't have the proper discovery methods and all. So in this Intune also we will face the
Those
same
scenarios
problems.
will not occur here. No, those
Okay,
scenarios will not
okay,
come here.
yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
so that is the all those NP not certificate issues, PK issues, those things will not come.
Okay,
Okay,
Kishore, thank you.
here
Yeah,
if you're in hybrid AD join, different kind of issues come, and I'm going to cover all those issues because I am facing it daily. Okay, if I come across any new issue, I make sure it's part of my class. Okay, and by the time, if you have attended my 2 batches before, my Indian class is different. If you attend 2 batches after, it will be different. Not major difference. I would have added many things because every day Intune is maturing. Okay, every day Microsoft is releasing one or the other article. Something is happening every month. So all of those things we will try to see if it is a major showstopper for the projects. You getting the point, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yes, because if you see currently what's happening is in most of the Udemy classes or most of the YouTube classes which I'm seeing now, nobody is telling if say if my application is failing, where will I go and see? Okay, which log file will I see? How will I troubleshoot it? Everybody is telling go click here. This is how you stage an application. This is how you deploy. Okay, now I do the deployment. My deployment is not installing. How will it work? Where should I go and see why it is not installing? After installing, it's not appearing. The command line could be a problem. So all of these things is what we are going to discuss. I've included even PowerShell app deployment toolkit as a part of the courseware, so that you will not be dependent on the packaging thing to do simple deployments. Like if you want to deploy some configuration, see in Intune, you will not have group policies, right? Then how
Yes.
will you log to the environment? So there is something called as Intune Policies. Intune Policies is a alternative name for configuration profile or custom configuration profiles. So you'll have a project. They'll come and say, I'm going to have a complete Azure AD join project. Okay, I want to log down. I want for these 1,000 systems, I want it to be completely on cloud. But I want these systems to behave the same way as my existing environment. Then what you will do, you'll take the existing group policies, you'll see, and then you'll start converting them into Intune policies. Not all group policies can be converted. Some of the things you will handle it through scripting. So these are the things that you have to do. Intune looks very easy on top, guys, but as you start going, the client demands, it's exhausting. It's really
But we
exhausting.
have a lot of issues in Intune, right? I mean, we are facing so many issues,
I would
current
not say Intune is
environment.
having a lot of issues. I'm seeing a lot of skill gap.
Okay.
Okay, there is you don't have the right skill to handle this. It's not the issue. It's the skill gap is what I see in my see. I have about many SMEs work under me. Okay, all of them are SCCM guys. Okay, they are trying to move into Intune and things like that. So when that happens, okay, I basically ask them, did you look to the workflow? The worst part is nobody knows the workflow, and workflows are not available freely within the Microsoft site. Okay, so those things comes through experience and it comes through what we have seen. So I have tried my level best to consolidate as many workflows as I've seen, and I'll be sharing all those things with you guys. Got it?
Got it.
Now, say for Intune, you have an option. Say for SCCM, you have an option. When an application gets deployed, what you will do? You will check. Okay, first thing is I have to check app intent eval. Next, I have to check app discovery. Next, I have to check app enforcement. Like that, what is there for Intune? Only 3 or 4 steps, right? In application deployment, maybe in SCCM is maximum about less than 20 steps. Here you have 32 steps. What are those steps? Where it is failing? How it is failing? Now, in hybrid AD join, you are doing an autopilot. What is an hybrid AD join? It has to basically talk to your co-management, or it has to talk to your on-premise Active Directory. If your on-premise Active Directory is having issues, obviously your autopilot will not work, and they will blame you for autopilot not working. You should be smart enough to tell, hey, my Intune autopilot is working. Your Active Directory is having a problem. You go fix it. This is the problem. You go fix it. That is the kind of a takeaway that I want you guys to have from it. You getting the point? Same way as if AD guys don't do the cleanup, our SSM will not work now properly, right? Sridhar, I mean, all of you guys are SSM, right?
Yes, yes.
So you would have all seen this problem. AD guys will not do DNS cleanup. Then we'll have multiple machines having the same IP and all those things. So client will not be active. Your patch compliance will come down. So all here the same thing is there, but only for the autopilot side, because of the hybrid. Companies don't want to directly go to cloud. They want to go to hybrid and then go to cloud later stage. Okay, because some of the apps which they use still requires LDAP access. For that reason, they are going to hybrid as of now. And I'll talk very detail about all these guys. It's a huge topic. If you let me, I'll talk whole day. But yeah, this is how your class is going to be, very informational. Uh, uh, and you can ask me any damn thing about end user computing. It's not only about it. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. And one more thing, guys. When the class starts, when the class happens, we will have one WhatsApp group. We'll be communicating, continuously or interacting. You have any questions or anything, you can put on WhatsApp group. Even after the class is over, when you're working in production, you have some doubts, you can still call me at any point. Okay. Not
What about lab?
lab we will be having a I'll be creating a separate lab, and like see, this is the existing students. Okay, so I'll be giving each of you the username and password. You can access. I'll make all of you the Intune administrators. You should be having this, and you should be building a Hyper-V machine, Windows 10 machine in your personal laptops. Okay, that is
Okay.
your mission. Okay,
If you
in your
don't have
personal
personal
laptop.
laptop, I mean,
Come again.
your if you don't have personal laptop, can you provide a virtual machine for us?
I will not be able to provide it because this is on my personal. This has nothing to do with the institute. I will not be able to provide the virtual machines for you. You will have to build it on your personal machine. One machine is enough. Hyper-V is there, it's free. If you want, I'll give you VMware software, or I can give you Oracle VirtualBox. I can give you softwares, but machines you should have your own machines. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and you can use it at any point in time. Okay. Yeah. Virtual machine also, I have to give you cloud machines only, but those machines will not be like it's going to cost me, and it's going to be very waste of time and money. So just build your own machines. You enroll it, you play with it, you break it, no problem. Okay. Yes. And we'll be creating one WhatsApp group where we will be interacting using that WhatsApp group most of the time, and I'll be sharing my notes. I'll be sharing the materials and everything within that WhatsApp group. Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
Kishore,
And I'm planning to start the class coming Monday on. Let me see the dates. Coming Monday is 20th. Yeah, 7 p.m. I'm planning to start the class. It'll be 1 hour, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Sometime it will be extending a little bit depending on the topic. Yeah. Yes. Any questions, anybody?
is it that Azure you need to know Azure to learn Intune, or what, how much is it
Don't
necessary?
know. See, you have to start somewhere. Pa. See, this class is focused for SCCM guys, for end user computing guys, not for anybody else. Okay, I know end user computing guys don't know Azure, and for you will not be working much in Azure. You will not be doing anything in Azure other than touching the users and devices. So you need not know Azure. You can learn now. If you don't know, you can learn now. Not a problem.
So just
Kishore,
Hyper-V is enough, right? No need of any other thing. Just a laptop with a minimum configuration is enough.
See, you need to have a pretty good configuration to run the virtual machines. Okay, that is your own personal machine. Other than that, I don't see anything. At least about 8 GB RAM, because 4 GB RAM will go to a Windows 10 machine. Huh? That is why.
Oh,
Okay, because Windows 10 requires at least 4 GB. That's the reason. But in the class, anyhow, we will be showing the details and everything. So don't worry.
Kishore, I don't have that much experience in the SCCM. Okay, just I started learning, okay, myself. So could you include both the SCCM as well as Intune, or only you're going to
SCCM is
teach
a
us?
separate class, Shafiq.
Yeah.
So when I
Hmm.
start my SCCM batch, I can inform you. Okay.
Okay.
When I start my SCCM batch, it will also be a daily class. So
Hmm.
once I started, I can inform you, because that's also another complete 20 hours course which I will be learning. You'll be learning from infra level to everything. So yeah.
Okay. Mm. For Intune, no need to have knowledge of NCCM, right? Directly we
If
can
you
learn the
have knowledge
GDP.
of SCCM, it is more better. If you don't have knowledge,
Okay.
that's okay. It's not going to make a
Okay.
much
Okay.
difference.
Okay. Thank you.
One last
Both
question, Kishore.
console rights both are different. No need to knowledge on
Yeah.
SCCM because both are
If we
consoles are
talk
different.
about queue management, little bit you will have little bit of, you will
No,
not be able to understand. But other than that, every other topic you should not be a problem.
both are
Okay.
different
Okay.
consoles.
Okay, Kishore. Thank you.
Uh,
Here we
And what about security? I mean, which one is better for security? I mean, Intune or SCCM? Because for Intune we are joining from web, right? So what about
See,
security?
in Intune, you can do a selective wipe on all you can do. Okay, so security wise, Intune is pretty good. Okay, say
Actually,
somebody has stole your device or something. Okay, somebody your laptop is stolen or something. Okay, as soon as it comes online, connected to internet, you can wipe it. Okay, obviously they have to you do anything, they have to be, all the authentication happens come through cloud only, all the authentications happens through Azure only, so obviously they have to be connected to internet to log into the device. So security wise it's pretty good. Yeah, go ahead.
with respect to mobile management, you'll be enrolling both
I will not be doing anything to do with mobile management because I need devices for that. I don't teach mobile management, it's completely Windows.
okay, recently my organization moving to Intune.
Mm-hmm.
They have removed McAfee and they have deployed Microsoft Defender. What is the difference between McAfee and Defender? Because last
See,
one
I
week back
don't.
they removed.
There's no point in discussing the difference between McAfee and Defender. The Defender is basically free. It comes with your operating system. You don't need additional license. McAfee, you have to buy additional license. Other than that, the end functionality is vulnerability management, which both of them does well. Okay, but for Defender, there is equal. Microsoft has basically said that we are going to provide you the details, and they've integrated it with all their products like SCCM. Also, they've integrated with your Intune as well. So I don't think so. If there's any problem with the other than the cost, I don't see any difference. Okay,
Okay, for
ultimately, it's
cost
the same.
reduction, they will remove McAfee, right?
Obviously, McAfee will always be removed. Going forward, McAfee will slowly die in production, but it depends on the company to company. Okay. But Windows Defender is doing a pretty good job. Earlier, you remember even in Windows 7, you used to have this inbuilt antivirus. Even in Windows 8, you used to have one, but right now they made it very robust and all those things. That's the reason most of the companies are going towards Windows Defender.
Okay,
And it becomes part of your licenses. So, anyway, when it's part of your licenses, why should you buy a new one?
okay, okay. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to disconnect because right now I have meeting.
Okay, I'm done with my session. And guys, one more thing. After every class, recordings will be sent to you, and you can download it and you can keep it permanently for future reference. Okay.
Okay, okay, sure. What is the YouTube? I mean, YouTube link. What about YouTube link? I mean, do you have any
You
channel?
can you can go to YouTube and search for Lara Online Training. They will upload it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Thank you.
Yes,
And
yes.
Kishore, what will be the fee structure?
Fees, I do not know about it, but you can talk to the coordinator. They will call you because you're given the number. Those of you not given the number, please type in the number here so that they can call you for the enrollment and send you the meeting details and everything once you enroll. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So could you please just can we have the channel name into the chat so we can copy and we can directly redirect to the YouTube channel?
Lara
You
Online
want
Training.
to let me
Lara
give
Online.
Yes,
let me
Lara
give
Okay.
Online
that to
Training.
you.
Okay.
This is Lara Online Training. Let me search it for you. and give that link. Yeah. I'm putting it in the chat. You guys can take it from there.
Thank you. Thank you.
So these guys have so many courses. Oh, sorry, I made it private. You can take any other course you will also. And anybody else who is not given their phone numbers, Jaipal or Chakri, if you're not giving your phone numbers, please do share so that they can help you with the enrollments. Others can leave. Who has shared the phone numbers can leave. Who are not shared, please share and then quit. Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone. Bye bye.